Hello, everyone, and welcome tonight. I am joined, as always, by Barlow the Great. How are you doing?
I'm awesome, man.
Yes. So we're pretty excited tonight.
Yeah. This is a super fun game, and it's been out for a while, and I'm so happy that we get a chance to talk about
Well, that's the thing. So you're going to discover that as the weeks and stuff go on, I'm going to find old games because there's another one I happen to find that's like 3 years old that I just happen to find because. It was funny because when we went to Origins, I discovered I played for the first time Lords of Waterdeep.
Yes, amazing
And so
game.
some of the comments were just like, "Oh, it's been a great game for like 15 years or 10 to 15 years, whatever." I'm like,
Been around for a while, but still.
So we're gonna find games, that I just haven't played, and I'm trying to branch out a little bit because I played strictly just basically miniature games.
Right, and this is a nice one for you to kind of branch into.
Transition, yes.
Yes, it's a good transitional product for you. That's right.
So we're going to talk about Unmatched by Restoration Games,
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
And this came up in a video, a controversial hot take by Barlow, where he said,
I call this a card game. This to me is a card game.
And it does say on the back, a tactical miniatures game.
Yes, a fast-paced game of tactical combat between unlikely opponents.
Yes.
And it's definitely unlikely opponents. I argue that the miniatures are not the tactical element of the game at all.
Yes, and as playing it, you're right. He was absolutely right. It is a fun, clever card game.
It's awesome. It's super fun.
All the decks play pretty different.
The fact that everything is so different, unlikely opponents, right? That's a big part of it. So the first set was it's this set,
it's
right?
this set, yeah. Battle of Legends Volume 1.
Right, and there's King Arthur, Sinbad, Medusa, and Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
And they all play totally differently, but they all play thematic, so they all feel like those characters would be. And you can play any of the sets with any of the others.
Yeah, and I think in total, so what makes the game really cool is everything's in the box that you need to play.
Yep, absolutely.
And then they're all interchangeable.
Well, there's two that only have a single character and no board. That's the Deadpool and the Bruce Lee.
And they're both out right now.
Yes.
So if you find them, you're going to pay top dollar for them,
Yeah.
On secondary market.
Unless you get lucky.
Like
If you get lucky, leave a note. Let us know.
Yeah, pick it up, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about the game.
Okay.
So we have out here Cobble and Fog, and it's Dracula, Jekyll and Hyde, the Invisible Man, and Sherlock Holmes. Yep. So all the minis, they come like pre-washed.
Yep.
They have it's gray, and then there's like a black wash over top of them.
Just to show the detail on the minis more than anything else.
Yes. Right? And then they also come with their own little dial, their life dial. And then I think the majority of them, have what's called sidekicks. Now,
correct.
This is going to be our one nitpick, right? Because we do love the game.
I love the game. The models are the heroes, and the sidekicks are strictly tokens. I wish that there was an option that we could purchase models for the sidekicks.
Yes, I think the models should have the sidekicks should be models as well.
Absolutely.
And they get their own dial, and then
if they have multiple points. So, like for example, Dracula has
3 brides.
3 brides, the sisters. They are only a single point each, so if they take damage, they're gone.
And then, some of the characters have cool abilities, like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. He has 2 different sides. Alice goes from big to small. Dude, you busted me up with Alice. She would go small and get +1 to her defense, and then she'd hit me and she'd be big and be +2 to her attack. It was King Arthur took it on the chin.
He kind of did. When you play the decks, each of the cards allows you to either attack or defend or both. And then there's also scheme cards which allow you to do, very specific things. But they have to be played by specific models. So for example, in your King Arthur deck, you've got a card that's, an attack for King Arthur, there's a defend for King Arthur, there's an any for King Arthur, which is like a purple card because it can be attack or defend. And then you also have the same for Merlin. But there's a few special cards that allow it to be both. You can use for either character. So I think that the tactical element as driven by the models is simply in the placement where they're at and which cards you can play at a certain time. But the hands of cards really drive the action.
So all the decks are built already.
Yep.
Everything's in here, and they have, I think there's 30 characters now.
Oh,
I think there might be
up to 30
different characters, and each deck plays different.
Yep.
And it plays. You can play up to 2 to 4 players. We haven't had yet to play 4 because there's a team version of the game you can play as well. And it plays. It says 20 to 40 minutes, and that is right on the money. I think we played 2 games, best 2 out of 3 in like 40 minutes. It was,
real quick.
It was real quick. So and then and they have a wide variety of characters, and then they're starting to get into.
You got
like
Marvel.
Superheroes, Buffy. You're starting to get into like known entities and stuff like that.
Jurassic Park.
There's a big Tyrannosaurus Rex that has 2. But all the games, except for the ones you mentioned, comes with the board, the token. Everything is in there that you need.
You can play a game right out of the box.
Right out of the box, so you can go. You know what? I like Buffy. Yep. I'm just going to get the Buffy one. And then you're good. You're good to play Unmatched. Or if you just want to get a smaller one, you get Bigfoot and Robin Hood. Everything's in the box. You can play it out of the box.
And many of the boards are double-sided. So I did notice that the Tyrannosaurus Rex and Dr. Sattler, that's not a double-sided board. It's a single-sided board. But most of the ones, like the ones you see here, these are double-sided boards. So you've got 2 different maps to play on. Which kind of changes things up a little bit.
It truly is a game an all-inclusive game in a box.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is reasonably priced, very reasonable. I think the big boxes I think are $50.
That's the
retail
MSRP.
Like $50. Yep. And I think these are like $30, $29.99 or something like that. The 2-player box, and the smaller ones that don't have
$20.
Well, the $600 if you're getting them on like eBay and stuff because you can't get them right now.
Bruce Lee right now.
Bruce Lee's like $600 or something. I think we saw.
He's going for some expensive costs right now. That's the other thing too. Is again, all the characters play. Like you said, thematically, but the card decks are also fun. I think I mentioned this before, but the Deadpool deck. The Deadpool deck is just a joy to go through and get the cards in your hand because the art, the way they designed it is, it looks like he wrote all of the cards himself. So it's like Deadpool writing these cards and doing them on napkins and the backs of other things, and it's just very, very fun.
That's
all the way through. I mean, so they do put a good amount of thought
into their game, into the design of the game.
Yeah.
So we will say we love this game. We got we give it 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 on like the art and the price and everything and the gameplay. Like I will say it's great for if you're looking for a fast little kind of scratch the itch of tactical miniatures, but it is not a tactical miniatures game.
Nope.
So if you're looking for that, you want to try something different, maybe Summoner Wars or
if you want to try a game where you get to try your hand at painting some models to play the game. One of these boxes like this, there's only 3 models in this. There's only 4 you have to paint. So it's a nice entry into board gaming where you're going to have models that you get to paint.
And the models actually are good, and they paint up really nice. If you do think that this looks like something you'd want to try, check your friendly local game store first. If they don't have your check out theguardtower.com. I'll put the link in the description below. And then, like always, if you enjoy these videos, please leave a like and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff. We genuinely do appreciate it. But we figured we'd just share this with you. Barlow, I came because we're excited.
I can't wait to play it again.
And we have another game too. We're going to make a video of that I've discovered 3 years after the game. I'm now on the hype train for it, but.
It's a good game. It's just good time to discover it. It's a good time.
So you have to. That's right. Is there a bad time to discover a new game?
Only if it's out of print.
That's true.
And then I can still play it. I still enjoy out of print games.
Well, we appreciate it, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. We'll see you around. Bye.
I play a lot of out of print games. You realize?
I know you do.
I just realized.